I titled this "They Liked a Post." So a little bit of backstory to catch you up on here, so that you know where we're going here. This is the story is that Dominic Mysterio and other wrestlers liked a post, and we're now equating that to them being against or them standing on one side or the other of transgenders in sports. Now, we go back. This all started with Sophie Cunningham. Do you know who that is?
Basketball player. Didn't she get throat punched?
No,
Or is that Caitlin Collins or whatever the fuck her name is?
that's Caitlin Clark. But
Okay.
yes, okay. Sophie Cunningham. She is a bench player for the Indiana Fever. That's not derogatory. She literally comes off of the bench. So that is her position. She kind of got fame because, yes, Caitlin Clark was getting her ass beat for being the best player in the WNBA. And yeah, she got throat punched, this being Caitlin Clark. And finally, Sophie Cunningham was on the court one day when one of the fouls happened, and she was like the person that stood up for Caitlin Clark and started a fight. So that got her popularity. And in the midst of all this popularity, she got interviewed, and she basically said that she's standing for women's sports. And she said this off comment about uh, she wants to keep women in women's sports, and she doesn't want biological men competing against women in sports. This caused a whole bunch of backlash. And a few months, well, I'm sorry, this kind of went unnoticed. A few months later, she got interviewed again, this time by like ESPN, and they're like, hey, a couple months ago you said this thing, like, you want to elaborate on it? And she's like, I mean, I said what I said. I don't think women should have to compete against biological men in sports.
Yeah.
So yeah, this became a controversial topic. It got to the point where there was like protests outside of women's games. One of the coaches for an opposing team wore a shirt that said "Trans Kids Matter,"
Oh,
which is
Jesus.
a that's another subject for a whole different day. Like
Right.
trans kids, like we don't have enough time to go over that part of it. But it's a hot topic debate. I don't even know why it's a debate, honestly. Like it should go without saying that yes, men
Kids are
shouldn't
off limits.
know that men shouldn't be competing against women in sports.
Yeah. Because they'll lose all the time. Every single time.
Yeah. So we fast forward, and now we go to ITR Wrestling for this story here. And it says Dominic Mysterio, Brie Bella, and other WWE stars come out in support of basketball hotshot after controversial transgender comments. And it says, in light of a recent controversial from transgender remarks from a top basketball star, Dominic Mysterio and Brie Bella, amongst other WWE personalities, expressed their support. Sophie Cunningham, a guard with the Indiana Fever, made national headlines. Uh, I kind of just sent you through that, so we don't have to go over it again. And then, so we'll skip forward a little bit. And it says, surprisingly, Sophie Cunningham's supporters came from an unlikely industry that is WWE. After some of its superstars, aside from Mysterio and Bella, gave their thoughts on social media. WWE stars like Ray Phoenix, Jada Parker, and Maurice, that's the Miz's wife, also agreed with Social Cunningham's recent statements. After getting backlash from her transgender comments, Sophie Cunningham of the Indian Fever threw shade at her detractors on Instagram by saying she said what she said, indicating that she's standing firm and doubling down on her recent remarks. Basically, she did an Instagram post and she said, "I said what I said." But then the witch hunt started because there was some person, and this is the Twitter account named Tribal Chief. He says Dominic Mysterio, Brie Bella, Jada Parker, amongst others, who likes Sophie Cunningham's post doubling down on transgender women competing in women's sports.
Why is that still a controversy? Why do we still have to pretend that they're anywhere near the level of men when it comes to athletics and shit or anything physical?
That women are.
Yes.
Well, this is about keeping women's sports. Like this is this is about keeping them out of the women's sports.
Okay.
This being the men. Because yeah, Sophie Cunningham is like she wants to protect women and so
She
that they
doesn't
don't
want to
have
get
to.
her ass beat by men.
Yes, but she is a part of the WNBA, and you know they're 90% in the LGBTQ stuff.
The W stands for woke.
Not not woke, but they're all in the LGBTQ because they're all lesbians.
Yeah, they're
Pretty
woke by
much.
default.
Well, I guess so. Okay. Speaking of which, side note here.
And the
So
Fever coach didn't want to like define what a woman was.
yeah, she said some stupid shit about like I'm not a scientist or whatever.
Which is what one of the Supreme Court justices said. They
When
asked
asked
her,
what a
like,
woman is.
yeah, I'm not a biologist. Come on. That's their little default. I'm not a scientist. I can't say for certain.
They are. But yeah, that's the. Oh, I see it here. Okay, so Dominic Mysterio, Maurice, Diana Perrazzo, Brie Bella, Ray Phoenix, Gail Kim, Megan Morant, and then Jada Parker also liked this post. Now, remember, it said that they
Now, this
made
is all like thumbs up. They're not commenting on anything or actually sharing thoughts. It's just a thumbs up. We were supposed to be all pissed off at them about.
Yeah, I said, remember, this initially said that they made statements, and the statements were the thumbs up.
Okay.
So they haven't made statements. Uh, I'm sure when there's a media thing, this is going to be brought up. So we can expect that this is going to be something that we may have to talk about again.
Yeah.
Because this will be brought up. And uh, yeah, it's just going to become a bigger thing. But I do always say, and I'll stand by this, that in regular sports, I don't even know why it's a conversation, but it is funny that wrestlers are agreeing with this when in wrestling it's something that's not even a like it's okay in wrestling.
Well, yeah, it's predetermined.
Yeah. But yeah, wrestlers are going against this when there are transgenders in wrestling. There's actually more to note. There's no transgenders right now in the WNBA, but they're having an argument about it. So that is to note there.
I saw that Clay Travis guy said he'd give the ladies of millions of dollars if they played a high school basketball team.
Yeah, he said he was going to pay him $5 million. A lot of people are showing their ignorance there. By the way,
What do you mean?
yes, they can. They may be more dominating, but there is still the fact that you have to put the ball in the hoop. Like there's plenty of people who can do all the dribbling and like do all the flashy stuff and can't make a layup to save their life. So to think that you can just pull someone off the street and beat a professional team is just ridiculous. I know
Well,
they're trying to make a point, but it's like you still have to put the ball in the basket. And that's going to be even if there's no one there, like it's hard like even if no one's guarding you, it's hard to put the ball in the basket.